Hari Om everyone. Welcome to today's Gita session. Today we'll be covering Shloka 9.27 from Bhagavad Gita. Yat karoshi yadashnasi yajhosi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. Rohan, why don't you read the meaning for us?
Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer as oblation to the sacred fire, whatever you bestow as a gift, and whatever austerities you perform, O son of Kunti, do them as an offering to me.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Anya. Thank you, Rohan, and thank you, Kripalni. So, in this shloka, Krishna tells us to do everything as an offering to the divine, to Krishna. We also learned that in the previous shloka, you offer anything to Krishna, offer it with devotion, with love. And here in this shloka, Krishna tells us, whatever you do it as an offering, do it as a service to Krishna. But the question that one would very naturally have when he first reads the shloka is that Krishna is the one who created this world. He is the one who is responsible for everything that happens in the world. So, for someone that powerful, what can all of us offer to him? And me offering something to Krishna, is it even of any use or any worth to Krishna? Let us try and come to an answer, come to a conclusion or understand all of this. But before that, there's a really interesting video that Vijay ji has for us. So here's the video. Also, once I start playing it, please show me a thumbs up if it's audible and visible clearly. So let's watch that really inspiring video now.
मैं कार्तिक दहिया। मेरा 2007 में एक्सीडेंट हुआ था। मैं चलती हुई ट्रेन से गिर गया था। उसके बाद मेरा ये जो रीस्ट था, लेफ्ट रीस्ट काट दिया गया था।
So that was Karthik. He must be wondering, right, how hard it could be for him to live such a life that he was living. I came across the same situation few years back, which eventually changed my life. And here's my story, how I found the purpose of my life. One day, while working on a robotic project, I got a chance to meet a 7-year-old girl. When I noticed, I actually found she was missing her both upper limbs. I could have moved away, as we normally do when we find someone with missing limbs, but I don't know why. I actually stopped and thought, why not to help her out? I decided to give 2 prosthetic arms to her, with no idea what could be the price. So I approached to a company to get 2 prosthetic arms for a 7-year-old girl. Can you guess what would be the price? They quoted me 70,000 US dollars. A 7-year-old girl, just a movement of an arm, open and close, and it's costing 70,000 US dollars. I thought, let's find more about this. And this is what I found. In every 10th minute, there is one amputation. More than 500,000 people lost their limbs every year, and 85% of them are still living without any solution. And the reason? Affordability. For me, that was really a big problem. And I thought technology has this power to solve this problem. But more than that, I felt maybe this could give me the sense of purpose in my life. So I decided to quit my education and give my full time to create an affordable prosthetic arm, which was never an easy decision for me. So I started working on it. From an NGO, I got some funds to work on this project. I started creating few designs, starting from $5,000 to $3,000 to $1,000. But every time I was going to that director of the NGO, and he was saying to me, like, we can't afford it. For me, it was really getting hard because I was running out of time and money. I was left with that amount of money that if I eat twice a day, I won't be able to feed myself. So I decided to go to the director of the NGO and ask him, like, how much you can afford. On which he said, like, $100. So can you imagine? I was thinking about an arm which was costing about $70,000, and somebody's asking me for $100. So But for me, there was no reason to go back to my parents and say like I failed. So I thought, let's take this challenge, and I went up with complete different approach. How to do more when you have less. So I started looking for things which were available nearby me, and this is what I found. A toy, some rubber band, a hot water bag, and a badminton racket. So how I'm going to use these things to make a prosthetic arm. So I started comparing all these things with a high-end prosthetic arm. So the first thing that I did, for me, this toy was something looking like a finger. So can I use the same mechanism to make a finger out of it? And I thought, yes, it can be done. So I created finger using the same mechanism, which helped me out to reduce the price at a greater extent. The next thing I found, actually our hand have some tendons inside it, which help us to move those fingers. So to move those fingers, most of the prosthetic arms use some high-end expensive motors, which I don't have. What I have, a badminton racket. So I actually use the strings out of it, place those strings inside the arm, which actually pull those fingers. So I don't have need to worry about the expensive motors. Now the third thing was most of these prosthetic arms need some silicone fingertips, which are really expensive. And I don't have money, but I do have a hot water bag. So I actually cut that hot water bag, make some fingertips out of it, which actually gave the good grip. Now, the director actually, I went back to the director after 20 days, and the arm actually he was asking me for $100. I created it in $75. But it's never easy. He again came back to me with a question like, how you are going to make it? You don't have machines. And a miracle happened for me. Actually, I put some videos on YouTube, and a professor from US saw those videos, and he gave me a mail saying like, we are doing a conference in US and would like to show us what you have designed. And I was like, who's going to say no? I just went to US, gave a talk, and after the conference, some people came to me saying like, we actually like your design, how we can help you out. I didn't ask any money, but I actually gave them my real situation. And the next day they came back to me and saying like, we are gifting you 10 machines for free. And I was like, I actually cried at that moment. I came back to India, started a company named Inali Foundation, and in this last 3 years, we have given more than 1,500 hands and for free. But I always wanted to make something which is affordable but technically more advanced as comparatively those prosthetic arms that are available for $70,000 that could be as comparatively as like them. So here's the Inali arm. Don't be scared. So that works with the signal from your brain. So whenever you think to move your fingers, your brain sends some signal. It actually takes those signal and which make it move. So can you get the price of this arm? How much it would be? It is for $2,500, and this actually costing about $70,000. I created in $2,500. But I always wanted to make it more interactive, like mobile phones that you don't want to leave your arm. So this is what I did. If you're traveling, if you don't have anything to charge your phone, just plug your phone inside your arm and start charging. But the idea was not just to make something, just an arm, but to create something which actually solves some problems. So I just remember one moment, a lady came to us, and like after getting the arm, she started crying. I actually approached her and asked her, like, what happened? You didn't like the arm or what? On which she replied, she replied, looking at her arm, now I can comb the hair of my daughter. And actually, I found my purpose. It is all about giving. It's all about giving back to society. And if you ask me what I have achieved in this years, so I showed you Karthik in the front. Now this is.
ये लेफ्ट हाथ से 12 साल बाद मैंने पानी अपने हाथों से पिया है.
इससे हम लिख भी सकते हैं, इससे हम पढ़ भी सकते हैं. अगर ये नहीं है तो इससे तो कर सकते हैं.
Well, I'm mind blown watching this video. So, three really lucky people get to share what they take away from this video or what's their favorite part. Yes, Hriday.
The man is like, what are you asking? Like,
What did you like in this video? Or
yeah, I like the how the man helped people by
very
giving
nice.
robotic hands.
Very nice. Very good, Hriday. Yes, Rohan.
I understood that the man, the founder of Finale Foundation, like he was working for a robotic company, and he wanted a hand for that little girl, but that was costing some $70,000. So he thought, how could he make it more affordable? So he used he used mechanisms of simple machines and made it more affordable.
Very good.
And by this, we need to see how can we offer to the society, not how can we get more money and earn.
Very nice, Rohan. Very good. Yes, Anya.
So I learned that the favorite part is like the man, he was like saving 1,500 lives or something. I like that part because it's not just that about money or something. It's about giving back to society and everything. Not about just money and everything. That's it.
Very nice. Very good, Anya. So throughout this video, if there's one word that was really highlighted was him finding his purpose. So that was the word purpose. And I think even towards the end of the video, he said, that is when I found my purpose. So what exactly is this word purpose? So in very simple terms, purpose is something that gives some kind of value or joy to life. So you may now have 100 questions as to how is this related to the question I asked you in the beginning of this session. So how is me doing something to Krishna or offering something to Krishna even making a difference to him? How does it even help him? So when Krishna says, offer everything to me, he is not telling you to offer everything to Krishna. All he's telling is to offer all that you do to the divine. And what is the divine? Like we've understood many a times in our session, is that divine is not always a person or an idea that we have in mind. It's more of a quality. So you think of Rama, you think of Krishna, you think of Buddha. So when you think of the divine, there are these qualities: to be kind, to have empathy, to be understanding, to be humble, to be able to help people, to have that feeling of giving back. So all of this, some unconditional love to everyone in the world, be it humans, animals, plants, to have that unconditional love, to be peaceful, to be happy. All of these are the qualities of divine. And what exactly does Krishna mean when he says offer everything to the divine? What he is trying to say is offer all you do to the divine who is present in you, who is present in me, who is present in each and every one of us. There is divine in each and every one of us. So do service, offer everything you do to the Krishna in others, to the divine in others. So coming back to the video, what he did here was he really liked working on robotic projects. He was really good at robotics, innovation, and design. What he did is he offered it back to people who were in need of that. So he made something that would help people. So that is what Krishna means when he says offer it back. There's a very similar idea or a concept. It's called ikigai. Ikigai literally means a reason for being, which is why do I exist? What's my purpose? So that is ikigai. So this is a Japanese concept. It refers to something that gives a person a sense of purpose in life. So let's understand what this means in really simple words. So ikigai is about finding a mixture or a combination or a place where different things meet. What are those different things? What are those elements? Let's look at it. So ikigai is the combination or something that's a meeting of these three elements. What you love, what are you good at, and what the world needs. So what do you love doing? When do you feel really happy, or when do you feel really excited? Doing what makes you happy? That's the first question. The second question you need to answer is what are you really good at? So someone may be really good at art. Someone could be really good at writing stories. One could be really good at math. So what are you really good at? The third and the final question is what does the world need? It could be many things. So let's look at how the video is related to this. How can we relate that to Ikigai? Let's talk about Prashant. So Prashant was the one in the video, right? So what does Prashant love? He loves working on robotics. He likes doing all of that kind of things like robotics and technology. And what is he really good at? Through the video, if there's one thing that's really clear is that he was really good at design and innovation. He could use things that he found at home and he made a robotic prosthetic arm, right? So that means he was really good at design and innovation. Now, what did he identify was the need, that need of the time, or something that was really needed by people. He saw that people really needed some affordable prosthetic arms. There were prosthetic arms, but there weren't many affordable options. So when all of the three came together, he made these affordable prosthetic arms using his skills, and it's also something he loved doing. So this identifying what his purpose was or what his ikigai was made him really happy, and working on his ikigai made him really happy. And you can see that smile on his face when he speaks. You see that energy that he carries. So let's think a little bit more deeper about this. Let's look at another really inspiring person. So there is a condition that eyes have. Eyes. It is cataract. So if you look at this image closely, this is how a normal eye generally looks like. This is what an eye affected by cataract looks like. So the lens, which is this part of the eye, it becomes cloudy. And when it becomes cloudy, you're not able to see what's happening because it's really cloudy. It's as if there's a lot of fog. So there's some kind of an obstacle to your view. So in simple terms, that is what cataract means. So why am I telling you all of this? That is to introduce you to this really inspiring person, Dr. MC Modi. So, so does someone know about him? No, because let me tell you today. So what he was an eye surgeon. He did surgeries to correct cataract cataract eye, or the eye affected by cataract. He would correct it and bring it back to normal. To just give you an idea of how good he was at what he did, was he would perform about 800 surgeries in a day. He could do that. About 800 surgeries. Can you imagine correcting 800 eyes that have cataract and performing surgeries on it and curing them? He is so good at what he did. But there's something really inspiring about his work. He would do a lot of these for free. So he had a hospital and he would work there, but sometimes he would go to villages and there he'd set up camps, and then he would try and identify people with cataracts and perform surgeries on them. The problem is, in most of the villages people, they're not very aware, and they also don't really go for regular eye checkups. They don't get it corrected. They many a times ignore this problem and they think it's irreversible and that there is no treatment. So when he went to these villages, he did some free checkups. He would call people, he would invite them to get a free eye test done, and then when he noticed that there is cataract, he would perform a surgery and rectify that. So this is how inspiring his work is. Now by listening to all of this, a lot of us could come up with this idea that to be helping or to be giving back to the society requires me to probably grow up, requires some really good skills, like maybe performing surgeries, or in Prashant's case, being really good at robotics, or some really good skills, and I should be really old to do it. So all of these are just myths, and let me tell you how. If you can recall, just the previous session, we listened to the story of the squirrel and Rama, how the squirrel helped Lord Rama build the bridge. And though they were all really small little pieces of mud or small pebbles, they really helped to build the bridge. They were as essential as the really big boulders or rocks that were in the bridge. Similarly, anything isn't really small. To think of any good thing or to think of any service as a small service would be a very ignorant statement to make. So it is important that we realize all the big things, as our mind would try to judge. This was a really big service. He performed 5 lakh cataract surgeries. To think of that, or to think of something like the squirrel helping Lord Rama build the bridge, it's a really small thing. Not really. All of us can give back to the society in our own ways. You can definitely have a plan for something you would do maybe 10 years down the lane or 5 years down the lane, but you can also do something now. To understand this better, we have a special guest in our class today. Any
Huh?
questions? Yes, we have a really special person in our class. Her name is Maya. And you know what is really special about her? She is a child, just like the most of us in our class. She is just like us, a student, probably in third or fourth grade. So let's know a little bit more about Maya. There are 3 really interesting things. Maya loves painting. So she's really happy when she draws, colors. So when she's doing some kind of art, she's really happy. So she loves painting. Maya is really good at creating some amazing comics. So she designs these really good comics. And she also notices this one thing that she feels is really important, that people are not very aware about what our environment is going through. So she thinks she needs to make the world a little bit more aware, do a little bit of what she can do to make it slightly better. So she starts making these really nice comics through which she starts spreading awareness about the environment. So she makes comics with morals saying, don't throw garbage here and there, use a dustbin, and maybe use water a little bit more mindfully. Start saving things, start recycling things. So, all of this. So, she does all of this. So, what is this? This is Maya's Ikigai, wherein there's this meeting of what Maya loves, what Maya is good at, and what Maya thinks the world really needs. This is where it meets. This is Maya's Ikigai, wherein she creates comics to spread awareness about the environment. So this is about Maya. So what she is doing isn't any small or bigger to label it that way. It is again a service. So why are we listening to all of this? So again, connecting back to the story, you may be doing 100 different things throughout your day. But the moment you add this part of what the world needs to what you already are doing or what you already enjoy doing, the moment you add this service part and you start offering or giving back to the society, whatever you're doing becomes even more of a joyful process. It brings in a lot more peace. It makes you really happy. It gives you that feeling of content, or it makes you feel content. It gives you that feeling of fulfillment. You may have heard or read somewhere that there are a lot of these people. They really have some big goals or aims in their life. So I want this job. I want so much money. I want this house, this car. They have all of these dreams. But you may have noticed or read about these instances wherein the person gets all of it that he wished for, but he isn't really happy. He leaves all of it, comes back, does something that helps the society, and that gives him a lot of fulfillment. But here's the big truth. You can do it with whatever you already are doing. You can start doing it today. You don't need to wait for tomorrow. Whatever you're doing today, just integrate this one part. Start offering it back to the society, and you'll start noticing that there is a lot more. You're a lot more happier. You are very peaceful. You feel really good and nice about this. So here's the most interesting part of the session. We saw how we saw Prashant's Ikigai, we saw Maya's Ikigai. We also understood the work of some really inspiring people like Dr. MC Modi. Here is the time to find out what your Ikigai is. So it you don't have to think a lot about it in a lot of depth, as in, oh, is this what I'm going to do for the rest of my life? Not really. Just think about it in very basic steps. So what do you love? Just answer maybe in pointers. So what do you love? What are you good at and what the world needs? So I'll give you 5 seconds. Why don't you run, go get yourself a paper and a pencil, and let's do this together. So let me start counting. So you just have 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I hope all of you are back. Show me your paper and your pencil. Very nice.
Ma'am, I got the book. Is it fine?
Yeah, a book, a paper, anything works. Very nice. So now you can draw 3 circles like the image on the slide, and you can start writing down listing down the things, listing down your answers to what you love, what you're really good at, and what the world needs. So your time starts now. You can take about 5 minutes. And if you have any doubts, please raise your hand. Yes, Snigdha.
Oh yeah, like I wanted to ask, like, if you were talking about Maya, right? So like, is she like here or something?
Yes, she is. Because you're talking about her, we're discussing about her. So in that sense, she is. But you can just say she's a fidget of my imagination. She isn't really here. But
Oh, okay.
she is here in in the sense that she's a representation of all of us. She's just one of us. She's just a child like us.
Got it.
Great. Yes, Hriday, do you have a doubt?
Maya's
Yes, Hriday.
physically not here, but mentally here.
Yes, yes, she is in our thoughts, in our discussion. Yes, Sohan, you have a doubt?
No, I want to say you are Maya, I think.
No, no, I am not. But yes, in one sense, we all are Maya, because just the way Maya had this sense of giving back, we all do, right? So, yes, we do have something in common. So, start writing, all of you, and in the end, we'll discuss what your Ikigai is.
What you love? Cleaning the society. See?
You can show me a thumbs up if you're done. So just to simplify, just answer these three questions and find a place or an activity or something that connects all the three things.
What the world needs.
Yes, Hriday. Do you have a doubt?
I am done writing.
Oh, excellent. Let's just wait for another minute and then we can start discussing.
Okay.
Great. We'll start discussing now. So, to summarize quickly, one thing that really stood out from what we just understood is that no matter what you're doing, by just adding this one more element, which is what the world needs, or how you can give back to the world, or how you can offer whatever you're doing to the divine in all of us, would add so much more fulfillment, would add so much more joy to what you're already doing. It would give you that sense of peace, it would give you that sense of freedom rather than just thinking about the outcomes, but just making this process itself very enjoyable and something that really has a lot of joy to do. So you can start sharing your ikigai with us now. You can raise your hand and start. So Hriday, you can go first.
I love playing cricket.
Yes, go on.
I am good at drawing. I'm like her painting, drawing, coloring. And I am going to help the world by reusing things and not wasting water and all.
Really nice. Very good, Hriday. That's a really good place to start from. Very nice. Yes, so.
What you love? I love cleaning the earth by not putting the garbage. What you are good at? I'm good at recycling wood at bogey time.
Oh, wow.
What the world needs? Helping to others.
Very nice. Very good, Sohan. So you can also think about how you can connect these three things, and it's not necessary that it always should be doing something with the environment. It could be anything that you are really passionate about. Like Dr. Modi, he was really passionate about eyes and maybe cataract surgeries, and he saw that that is the need. And Prashant saw that people who got their hands amputated, they need these prosthetic arms. So that was his focus. So you can have different kinds of focus. So yes, Anya.
So, what I love is to explore something new. And what am I good at? I'm good at skating. And what the world really needs is just care, love, and joy.
Wow, that's a really nice way to put it. Very nice, Anya. Great job. Yes, Snigdha.
So what I love is I usually like to like I like helping other people and all that stuff. And what I'm good at is I'm good at singing. And what the world needs is that they need to learn like how to the actual meaning of kindness, because like they know the meaning of kindness, but then they need to learn the actual meaning of it, because like whenever I notice, like whenever I'm like walking in the streets or something, I see like some beggars, and like they'll be begging very like sadly and all that stuff. But then people just, they just pass them, and they just go there without, they just ignore them. So they couldn't even give anything to them. Okay, you don't have to give money to them, but then you can give them something else, which could at least keep them like happy for some time. So that's why I think that people need to learn how the real meaning of kindness.
Very nice, Snigdha. Also, I want all of you to question yourselves when you're working on your ikigai, which is, so here is something you're really good at. Now, how do you use what you are good at to help the world or to give back? So you use what you're already good at to give back or to do some kind of service. And of course, the most important part is that you enjoy this process. Yes, Akshat. Akshat.
Sorry. Um, what I like to do is anything other than writing and swimming class.
Okay.
I am good at drawing, studies, and taekwondo.
Wow.
And the world needs solution, money, and inventions power.
So how are you going to use what you're good at to kind of serve the world?
I just want to become good, better in my studies to help others also.
That's a really nice way. So if you're really good at math, as an example, then you can also help your friends or your classmates who probably didn't understand that particular concept. So you're good at math, you really understood that of math, so you just help him understand. So that's a really, really nice way to look at it. Who wants to share their Ikigai next? Shreyas, why don't you share your Ikigai?
Yeah, like I didn't understand what the world needs. That one it's not relating to my the other two.
Okay, so just okay, let's do it this way. So tell me what you love and what you're really good at.
I love to play
Hmm?
uh, all the sports, and I'm good at studies and sports.
Okay, so in studies, what's something that you really like in studies? Because there's so many different subjects. So what do you like in
Maths and science.
math and science? So one way to look at it would be like the example I just gave, maybe helping your friends understand the concepts you learned. And maybe playing. So maybe you can, so you really love playing, right? So let's say in your classroom, there's some children who are often neglected or are not a part of, so when everyone's playing, they're probably really shy or they don't really come up and play themselves. So maybe involving them in the play and playing with them would be a really nice way to begin with. Again, so what we're doing today is finding your ikigai. Like I said, it's not the final version. You can keep thinking about it. In fact, this should be a longer process than just taking 7 to 5 minutes. This can be a starting point, but you'll have to keep thinking about it, refining it better. So as you think about it more, you'll be able to come up with something that works for you best.
Okay.
Great job, Shreyas. Sanvi, do you want to share your ikigai?
Yeah, sure. But I didn't understand what to like write for what the world needs.
Again, totally fine. You don't need to fill in everything today. You can keep adding it. But tell us what you already filled in.
Okay, so what I love is sports and food, and what I'm good at is studies and badminton.
Very nice. So, like I suggested to Rohan, you can think about, like I suggested to Shreyas, you can think about the different ways you can do it. Again, so probably you're walking through a street, you notice something, and then you say, "This is what the world needs." You you sure can't think about it sitting in a room at this moment. You just can't say, "Okay, now I'm going to come up with that." It's usually very natural. You see something and then you identify, okay, this is what the world needs and this is something I can solve or help solve. So you can in fact maintain a diary and maybe start writing down things in that, or maybe a journal. You can think of different ways to do it. Swanandi, do you want to share your ikigai? Vivan, do you want to?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
I like basketball. I am good at math. The world needs cleanliness for like pure air, pure food, not chemicals everywhere, plastic dirty everywhere.
Very nice. Excellent, Vivan.
Manya,
What
can I
is
speak?
Yes, you
Actually, I couldn't on my mic. I'm really sorry.
no worries. You can go in and just give an
Yeah,
at the moment.
yeah.
So, Vivan,
What
what are the small steps you can take to probably uh, help with what you just said, what the world needs? What are some things you can start doing already? Why don't you think about it? Maybe, so you said we need more cleanliness. So, how can you make just the surroundings more clean? Use the trash can more often and not maybe litter the floor in your school, at home, or the road, anywhere. So why don't you think about this a little bit more and maybe share it with us some after Swanandi. Yes, Swanandi.
Yeah. What I love to do is helping out people, like in maybe in their professional lives or in their personal life, whatever the matter may be. I like to understand their perspectives and help out in their life. And what I'm good at is dancing, I might say. And I think the world needs is, yeah, help and support from people. There are many lonely people in this world. So if everyone supports each other, gives help for each other, then I guess the world will be a better place.
Excellent. Very nice, Swanandi. Great. Sai Kiran, do you want to share?
Yes, Akka. My I like to oh no I love to do IIT, and I'm good at maths and science, and the world needs scientists, which I'm going to be.
Very nice. Excellent, Sai Kiran. Amazing.
Thank you.
Hriday, do you want to share your Ikigai? Okay. So to summarize what we did in today's class is whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer as oblations to the sacred fire, whatever you bestow as a gift, and whatever austerities you perform, O son of Kunti, do them as an offering to me. So the main takeaway would be that perform all actions as an offering to the divine in each and every one of us. Before we conclude this session, I request all of you to join your hands, close your eyes, and chant with me Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Om. See you in the next class.
Hari Om, ma'am.